Hi, it's me, Lee again. I hope you're all well. So I'm here because following from my previous YouTube video where I recorded a very short clip wondering if there was anybody out there in the ether that would be interested in listening to me drone on about how I'm successfully passing my APICS CPIM exams. It turns out lots of you actually are. Lots of you have asked me for tips and advice to be sent to them through their email addresses, but I haven't done that, so I thought I'd just knock up another very quick video to take you through how I personally have passed my APICS CPIM examinations thus far. Okay, so I'm just going to start. I'm going to jump straight into it. There are 5 key things that I personally, Lee Johnson, need to pass the APICS exams. Everybody's different, but I'm going to come at this from my point of view. 1. The APICS manual. That's a given. Whether that's the old textbooks or the new styled self-study guides, you need the content. 2. The APICS dictionary. At first I was a little bit dubious as to whether I needed it. It's become absolute dynamite for me. Make sure you get it. 3. Buy that APICS exam simulator. You're already paying a significant amount of money for the book and for the exams. Just go that extra yard and get the exam simulator. They are absolutely invaluable. In fact, barring the manual, the exam simulator is the #1 resource that I recommend that everybody should buy. And I'm going to go through this in more detail shortly. And hopefully not get in trouble through APICS themselves, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Number 4, access to the internet, absolute given. And number 5, a plan. Now, lots of people have asked me, how are you passing these APICS exams? And I'm passing them quite well. I'm getting over 310 marks on every exam. It's because I have a plan, and the idea of having a plan cannot be understated enough. I am a project manager in my professional life, so having plans is ingrained in me, but it's the key to passing exams and for taking exams with confidence. And actually I'm going to start with the plan first. I'm going to introduce you all to a website, and it's called Trello. Now you're just going to have to stay with me for now, and it'll all start making sense shortly, I hope. No, I'm very confident it will. So, this is Trello. It's absolutely free to use, and it's very simple to use, and honestly, it's going to change your life. Okay, a little bit dramatic, but hopefully it'll be very useful for you. So, once you've logged into Trello, you can log in through Gmail, etc. You create a new board. Now, I'm not going to go into details of how to use Trello because there's lots of YouTube videos out there that show you how to use Trello. So I'm just going to show you some very basic steps on how to create a plan, as I did, a plan to pass these exams. So the way Trello is structured is you can separate out the different sources of information, or as I call them, the different streams of revision, and then you can create tasks and assign the tasks to the streams. Again, stay with me, it'll start making sense shortly. So if I jump straight into it, I'll make it a bit more visual for you so it's easier to understand. My first stream of information is going to be the APICS manual. That is the bread and butter. The second stream is going to be the APICS dictionary, and the third stream, etc., and fourth stream, etc., etc. Now, the APICS manual, the tasks that I am going to associate and measure myself on and plan to do using the manual, very simply, read the manual. Okay? Another task could be reread problem manual. Okay. Tasks assigned to the dictionary, cross-reference, concepts from notes to dictionary. Okay, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more detail later, so don't worry too much. This is just focused on introducing you to Trello and the power of Trello and how it can really start to organize your the whole revision process for you. So I'm actually going to just skip to my actual APICS CPIM Trello board, and as you can see here I have 5 streams. These streams are, as I mentioned before, the textbook, the exam simulator, the APICS dictionary, and then there's 2 more streams here that I like to separate out and assign tasks to, and that's the exam warehouse, and I've called it OneNote, but it can be my notes, any notes you like. And I'm going to talk to you now step by step on how I use Trello and how I revise for these exams. You ready? Cool. So step 1, absolutely read the manual from start to finish. Obviously each module, each exam that you do, it builds on information from the previous exam, so absolutely do the exams in chronological order. Do the basics first, master planning of resources second, detailed scheduling planning third, etc. And read it from start to finish. So if we take detailed scheduling and planning, the third exam, as an example, I read from start to finish, and a lot of the content I was familiar with because a lot of the content appeared in the previous 2 exams, but some of it was new, and some of it I understood straight away, some of it I knew because of my professional, my day job, some of it was brand new to me. It was concepts that actually I needed to think about, and if I didn't fully grasp it there and then, I didn't spend too much time worrying about it. I would skip over to my OneNote or my revision notes and I'd make a note of the concept that I was struggling with. Okay, so read the book, make notes along the way. That's step 1 after you've created the plan, which is right in front of you here via Trello. And then step 2 for me is to, after I've finished the book, go through my notes and then cross-reference the concepts and the terminologies with the APICS dictionary. So I will give you one example here. I was struggling with the concept of central point scheduling, and I wrote that down on my OneNote to come back to later. And when I'm going through my notes and I come across central point scheduling, I'm just looking actually through the dictionary now. That's you can see the pause here. I lost the page, but I found it now. I can see the definition in the dictionary of central point scheduling is a variant of scheduling that employs both forward and backward scheduling, starting from the scheduled start date of a particular operation. So I'm making notes on my notes now. I'm really going deep into this, and I'm memorizing the concepts, and I'm trying to apply the concepts to my real life. So the next stage here is for me to test my knowledge. So I've read the book, I've made some notes, I've cross-referenced some of the concepts that I was struggling with the APICS dictionary here. Now it's time for me to take the exam. And let me tell you, the exams, and I really hope I don't get in trouble for this, I'm not going to share too much here because you do have to pay for this material. The exam simulator looks a little bit like this. It's broken down into 3 sections. You have the self-paced practice exam, where you can answer questions at your own pace, flag questions for review, and refer to references and rationale. Very often it will refer back to the APICS dictionary, so again, very useful resource to have. It also has a self-timed practice exam where you're under exam conditions, but it's not quite exam conditions in so much as, even though it's timed and you have the same amount of time as you would do during the real thing, the exam lets you know if you get the question wrong or right as you go. And if you get the question wrong, after being absolutely devastated about getting it wrong, as I often am, it allows you to click on the little information button, and it will give an explanation of why you're wrong and why the correct answer is the correct answer. Again, very often referring back to the APICS dictionary for definitions, which is fantastic. And the third part of the exam simulator is the final exam simulator, which is a 3-hour long test which will be graded with pass or fail. So it's exactly the conditions that you are subjected to during the real thing. So really the self-timed practice exam for me is crucial. What I will do to measure my where I am with my progress, I will take the exam after I've read the book and cross-referenced some of the notes that I made earlier. And if I am hitting 60 to 70% after the exam, I'm going to feel confident in myself, and this is just me again, that within 3 to 4 weeks I can take the exam, because by then I'll have completed the plan, if I refer back to Trello, and taken so many exams and cross-referenced the textbook to the dictionary to my notes that I feel that that's ample time for me to build on my knowledge. So what I've done very recently is I've booked my next exam. Right this second, I know I'm not ready for that exam, but by using this exam simulator, and I'm just going to give you one very quick demonstration of how it works. Again, sorry APICS, let me know if you're not happy with this. So question 1, a technique useful for businesses to become virtual supply chains in order to reduce costs and improve due date performance is B2B, BCP, B2C or BPR. And I can look at this and I can think, do I remember reading about this in the manual? No. Did I make the notes? Obviously not if I haven't read it in the manual. Wow, this is new, I must have missed it in the manual. I don't know the answer. I'm going to guess at business process reengineering. As you can see, it is wrong. And if you click up here, it'll tell you why you're wrong. Business to business, B2B, is business being conducted over the internet between businesses. Again, fantastic. This is dynamite for me. I know I've got the answer wrong. I'm starting to gauge the wording and the type of questions that I should expect from the real thing by practicing these questions, and I've just learnt something new. And this here is referencing the APICS dictionary. Done. I won't show you anymore, but you get the gist. So on my exam simulator stream back on Trello, I've got a few tasks here, and I want to say, right, before I attempt the real thing, I need to make sure that I've attained 80% pass mark on module 1, because that's what the practice exam simulator allows you to do. It breaks down the modules and tells you where you're weakest and where you're strongest, which is a excellent feature and a really useful feature of the exam simulator. So I want to get 80% on all the modules, and then the holy grail is at least a week before the real thing. I want to know that I'm passing the final exam simulator under final exam conditions with 80% pass mark at the very least. And as I go along, I'm going to mark these off as green or done and put a little green tick here, whatever. It's totally up to you how you use Trello. And that's basically it. So to recap, I'm reading the book, I'm making the notes, I'm cross-referencing a lot of concepts in the dictionary, and then I'm absolutely hammering the exam simulator. And once I've done that, there are two other excellent sources for you to really cement your knowledge and to really structure your thinking here. One is this website that I found when trying to study for one of my exams. And this website is called the APICS examwarehouse.com, and this was created by a gentleman named Cam Haynes, who I won't spoil the story for you, but as you can see here, he's a supply chain analyst working for a large corporation, and after he passed all of his APICS CPIM exams, much like me, he's trying to help other people pass, as he knows it can be very difficult and quite daunting doing it on your own. So the homepage on Cam's website pretty much goes through, it's almost in blog style. He writes about challenges he faced, thoughts he's having, etc., etc. And there's a free giveaway now and again, as well, as you can see here. But the gold dust is really in this section of the website, the CPIM exam notes section. And as you can see, there are headings here, and you'll probably recognize the headings as the 5 CPIM exams. Basics of supply chain, master planning of resources, detailed scheduling and planning, execution and control of operations, and strategic management of resources. And if we take detailed scheduling and planning as an example, it then breaks it down even further into the subtopics or modules contained within that exam. So if we look at inventory and ordering within the DSP exam, what Cam is sharing with us here is his authentic study notes from his revision process. So he's written out here what he thinks are the key points to take away from this subtopic. He's written down the different types of inventory, raw materials, work in process, finished goods inventory, MRO inventory, and then he's gone into detail about actually what are the what's the critical understanding that we need to pass the exam. If you just scroll down here, I really like the fact that he's been explicit. He is defining acronyms. He is highlighting key points here, like lot sizing techniques, economic order quantity, fixed order quantity, period order quantity, lot for lot, and then he's going into further detail and explaining each one in turn. And then there are people just like myself leaving notes at the bottom, so it's almost like a community. So I just thought I'd share that with you. And what I personally do is I have the exam warehouse, this is Cam's website, as a revision stream on my Trello. And some of the tasks that I have set myself is read through module 1 on the exam warehouse, read through module 2, etc., etc. Then I have one here, read through Cam's notes and rewrite them in my own language. And what I find that helps with is it helps me structure from start to finish the thought process behind a lot of the concepts, and it also helps highlight the key terminology and concepts that I need to fully understand to be comfortable when taking the exam. And then I've got the link in here to Cam's website within Trello. Trello, you can add pictures, links, all sorts of cool little stuff. And that's it. And the very, very final little tip that I'm going to share with you here, and this is what I do probably 2 to 3 days before my exam, when I'm winding down, when really I can't take much more reading. I can't read another 100 pages. I've done all that. I did that a couple of weeks ago. Just to brush up, just to stay sharp, just to keep the key concepts fresh in my mind. If you look, and it's a shame that I don't have a video here, but if you look at the textbook or the self-study guide, or whichever one you are currently reading, there should be at the front or the back a section called CPIM Key Terminology, and I'll just read a section from this. Candidates are encouraged to be familiar with all key terms listed below for the corresponding modules. The APICS Dictionary is the primary guideline for all definitions of the key terms, etc., etc. Then it suggests that you read through the key terminology and make sure you have a good understanding. I can't stress enough how useful this has been for me. There is so much to read, there are so many exams that very often a concept or an idea may fall through the safety net, and something like central point scheduling I might miss, or my brain just doesn't pick it up. And what the CPIM Key Terminology section ensures is that I can read through this, see the concepts that I absolutely definitely need to understand, and then I can cross-reference back to the dictionary or back to the manual itself if I don't understand it. And that's kind of like my final safety net, my final check before doing the exam, because by then, hopefully, if I skip back to Trello here, I'm attaining 80% on all the exam simulators, and I can go into that final exam and absolutely nail it. Boom. Which I have been doing. So hopefully that has been useful for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you find it useful. If not, I can look at trying to improve my YouTube video presentation skills and go through ideas and plans with you with a bit more detail, with a bit more visual as well. I appreciate it's been only limited visual here. So cool, good luck everyone, and I shall speak to you again shortly.